Hold on. Is it doing the thing? Ah, okay, it should be doing the thing. Alright, let me get my chat thing going here, as per usual. However, I do actually have some things changed around from last time, and I would like to discuss that with a little bit more details, but first things first, I do need to get my chat here. Come on, YouTube. There we go. Pull that a little closer so I have better reading here. There we go. So, if you followed me on Twitter or anything like that, you'll have gotten the update so far, but for the past couple of days... Hold on, there we go, that feels better. For the last couple of days, I have been without internet in my home. I referenced this during my last stream, not this part of the story, but during my last stream, that I was taking this entire week off. I took it off for work. My plan was to do like 4 or 5 streams this week, and it looks more like I'm going to only be able to fit maybe 3 in. And the reason for that? Monday, I woke up, realized that I had no internet in my house. I had power. Resetting my router and modem did nothing, and so I had to call my ISP, and they were just like, oh, yeah, so if you look outside your house, you'll see that there's a fuckload of snow, and it fucked with your internet. And we're dealing with other things right now. You're on the back burner, you're not important, and you can expect to have your internet back maybe around Friday. So obviously I woke up and got that news and was kind of pissed off and irritated. But what can I do? My internet's gone. Anyways, point is, Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday. Was Tuesday yesterday? God, what even is a timeline anymore? Anyways, yeah, Tuesday night, yesterday night, approximately around 6-ish o'clock. My internet came back. I got super excited. I gave some test runs, made sure everything seemed to be working. Everything looked to be functioning well on my end. My internet was coming in at a decent enough rate so that I should be able to do my stream. Nothing seemed to be too crazy and out there. And so I said, fuck it, we going with this. And so here we are streaming with hopefully semi-functioning internet, that isn't going to break halfway through. Hey Ian, hope you're doing well. Richard, I am doing as well as could feasibly be aimed for, because frankly, as I was just getting ready to end up on my story there, I was expecting to be without internet for another 2-3 days. So, yeah, I'm doing much better and glad to be able to get these streams going again. I'm looking to have one today, tomorrow, and Friday to try and round off what I originally planned. But as we're going here, I have some lost ground to make up for, so I'm going to try and push my way through this story as quickly as possible, still doing the reading as best I can, which will, I'm sure, lead to no hiccups at all and be perfectly bland and boring, and no one will laugh at me tripping over my own words.
Where to, dude?
Least of all me. Anyways, Richard, how are things going for you? I have noticed you have been pretty busy pushing out some shorts and a couple of songs recently. I've also noticed both you and he keeps changing his name. Ash is just what I'm gonna go as, but yeah, you've seen him in chat here and there. Every so often his name kind of changes around a bit, but he's also started recently putting content back out. And although he's kind of doing his own thing, little dancing videos and whatnot, I still personally am a huge fan of the short little clips that he puts out of just you know, emotional support videos, I'll call them. He puts out a little short video and it's just a message of positivity and a fun little clip of a song. Alright, so we are the Haunt Springs instead of... Okay, I see where we're going here.
Actually, I've dreamed of coming here ever since I saw pictures of it in a guidebook.
Not gonna lie, I have never been to a proper hot spring. And the thing is I'm fairly certain we have some in Michigan. I think I've heard about that before. I don't know where they are. I've just heard tales that there's supposedly a thing. But I've never been to any. It's one of those things that the closest I've ever come to is a quality jacuzzi. And I would love to be able to visit a hot spring at some point. I'm good myself, waiting for pizza to get here. Oh, yo. I don't know what this, you say something about stuffing later on, and we just had Thanksgiving, but that's not where my brain went. We recently did, have you ever done a Thanksgiving pizza? So this was just something that got thrown together in a last minute haste of, we have leftovers and we have ingredients, but we don't have the things to make either of the things to their totality. So we actually took a pizza dough, spread it thin, did the stuffing, the turkey, the mashed potatoes, all kind of layered on there in a certain way, and we used just gravy left over as the pizza sauce. It was unique. It was an experience. It is something that we have done before to lesser degrees, but I mean, this was a full-blown, like, absolute proper pizza, not just Thanksgiving on a sandwich. And it was, I hesitate to call it good, but I'm not going to call it bad either. Anyways, to finish reading your comment with that tangent out of the way, we were going to eat some, stuffed manicotti, but it was still frozen, and you're having that tomorrow. Is stuffed manicotti the stuff that is stuffed with, like, a cheese type thing? Or am I getting that confused with something else? Because I've had those before. I don't know what else to call them. They're a delectable little noodle thing that is stuffed with cheese, and it's just kind of served in a general red sauce, and that's so good. Never had a Thanksgiving pizza before. Surprised we haven't, though. We've thrown together a lot of random creations for dinner in the past. Yeah, it was kind of the ultimate in, I don't want to go buy any ingredients, and I'm working entirely off of what I have left. And then I went and broke my bank as far as the Black Friday, Cyber Monday shopping. So I'm kind of stuck in this gray area, floating by on pocket change and leftovers, trying to work my way through the day because it's what you got to do. I went through and did almost all of the holiday shopping I had to do. So on the plus side, going forward, I'm set in stone on that. I'm fairly good. I've still got a couple of small things to get for some other family members, and I've got a big purchase to make for my grandfather. However, I think he's going to absolutely love what I'm getting him. The man is like 90,000 years old. Legitimately, he's over 90. I'm not going to say exactly where, but he is approaching his centennial. And unfortunately, this is going to be his first holiday without his wife. So that's all a thing that the entire family is wrapping around. But anyways, at his old age, he has started taking to certain luxuries that growing up were, in his time, just never things you went and got done anyways, and certainly not things that, the stereotypical guy would go get done. In his old age, he has discovered self-pampering, is the way I'd say it. And so, me and another family member are going to pool together, and we are going to get him a booklet of several massages, which is going to be awesome for him, and I mean proper deep tissue massages. Which I guess goes right back into the game where we're talking about the hot spring resorts, or the haunt springs.
My data says the haunt springs boil up from hell, filled with ghostly grudges. These glistening waters can even revive the dead.
Yo, hold up. The water is heated with the vile sentiment of those suffering in hell. That is some straight up heavy metal shit, and I love it.
Yep, these springs are the real deal. This may be a tourist spot now, but in the past, warriors came here to heal their wounds.
Whoa! I'm getting even more excited now.
Are hot springs really so special? I had one at my palace that I could use whenever I wanted. What's the big deal?
Listen, Ieyasu, shut your mouth. Stop being a rich bitch, okay? It's not just hot water. It's an entire experience. It is the travel, the traveling, the destination, the experience there while there, and even that post-feeling wrap-up. It's not just, you shouldn't just get in a hot bath and be like, ah, hey, there's nothing I'm doing.
You want to know the big deal? How about I poke you a second butthole so you can feel the healing power of the springs? Huh?
No, I'm good.
This place never changes, does it? Looks just like it did back then.
More backstory for Fuji.
Welcome, honored guests.
Yep,
Spring Magistrate.
we're getting into that territory of the franchise. Although we have been there for a while, because I am prone to using these characters in the gameplay for obvious reasons.
Oh, my name's Virtueless. Thank you for having us here. I'm so pumped to get into the Garrow Hot Springs.
I'm glad that I did take that time to flesh out the opening, to play on words there, and let things round over so that we can avoid YouTube's automatic flagging, because I feel like there's enough flesh on screen right now that we'd be triggering something somewhere.
I do hope you'll enjoy yourselves. So, what'll it be first? A bath? Dinner? Or...
Oh? Yo, Big Bull! I'm down for battle.
You've got some nerve jumping us like that. Let's give him our very worst. We'll work up a nice sweat before our bath.
Getting that little exercise in. I love that he just comes crashing in, though. It's one of those classic tropes, but it's the energy I'm always just loving.
Let's make some money.
All right, let's get Fuji in here and just start slapping shit. We have a lot of story to cover, and not nearly as much time as I wish I had to cover it.
Let's Bushido!
Alright, just gonna send everyone out and start throwing people. Alright, that's gonna be good, and let's take Theodore. We'll toss Prilica. Here. And then we'll toss Higan. Whoops. As far as possible.
Let it rip!
There we go. Ieyasu can't do a whole lot, but he can at least throw. You know what? I think these guys can throw again immediately. How does this work? Well, you know what? That's a little bit more movement than she got on her own, so I'll call that a win.
I can't. Bring him down. Frail.
What? You
Alright, so
frightened?
again... Oh, wait. Monster toss, Ieyasu over here. Throw Fuji. Out here. And continue the tossing around of Higan, who just has to get as far as possible because her muscle-bound answer to problems is kind of my bread and butter for how I want this to go. I guess we'll bring Ieyasu this way. Alright, that does reach. Good. I need somebody else with a little bit of range. C4, there we go. That ought to handle that. And Higan can run all the way out here. So there we are, 2 turns in and I've crossed half the map. Not really feeling any of those, so we'll just do the basic foam. Ooh, wait, hold on. Is that not good? No. No, she doesn't have the power. Well, let's fix that going forward.
Too slow. I'm not dying yet.
I'll help out, dude. Yeah, dude.
There we are.
I'll give this my all. I always want more.
So, you think that increased the temperature of the hot springs at all, or do you think the emotions alone are burning hot enough to actually have that have a cooling factor?
What? I'm not dying
Your
yet.
rave will go unmarked.
Alright, let's take Buffy. Give Fuji a good tossing. And then Fuji can continue the job of making sure she gets as far in as she needs to. Wow, that is some defense on that boy. Yeah, he's only level 33 even.
Take this. Don't die on me.
Locked on. Pierce through.
Richard, if you're still in chat, can you let me know if I need to increase the volume of the spoken audio? Because it actually sounds like the voice lines are kind of underperforming.
This fragile. I want this.
The sound effects are pretty loud enough, it seems. However, I'm not sure if the voice lines are being delivered at a good volume. Alright. I think Fuji can cross enough distance here to get something going. Alright, I have that preferred Roaring Stampede move. That'll hit Higan, which isn't necessarily what I want. But unfortunately, he just doesn't have a lot of options here. No, what about... Okay, so I can do this for the Blazing Fang, have her come here. Move down one more, I think. And that ought to finish Daria off while still slapping Big Bull around.
I'm on fire. Deadlock.
I've mentioned this before in one of my other playthroughs, but in the Tales series, they have a constantly recurring move, Demon Fang. The Tales of Bersaria, Symphonia, yada yada yada. They have a constantly recurring move, Demon Fang, and that attack that Fuji just performed heavily reminds me of that Demon Fang move. Alright, we got the big man, which, as impressive his size may be... Yeah, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring you up here and just start having you go crazy. I think that'll hit, yeah, that'll hit a couple of people. But then, oh, I can't jumpify here. Okay. Hell mode. I'll take this trade-off. Alright, let's see what kind of damage we can get going with this. The ultimate Reika is going to hit a couple of people here. That's all well good.
Nice.
I also can't remember if we've seen that yet or not.
I'll clean up here.
Yeah, I don't remember that, and that looks dope as hell.
Essence of my
One of my favorite superpowers is the whole space-time manipulation. So, you know, anything freezing time is going to be dope for me.
I can't.
Your
The
rave
only,
will
like,
go unmarked.
superpower I can think of off memory that I think I would dare say I like even more than, hold on, there we go, than the prospect of someone controlling space-time, which I think is like one of the more powerful. If you're just looking for a superpower that is just like broken strong, controlling space and or time is, as well as like the Flash Speed Force stuff, is some of the better higher tier powers in my opinion. But one of the ones that got brought in as a, hold on, let me make sure I get this correct, because it is tied to African folklore. Yeah, okay. The concept is tied to African folklore and is one of my favorite low-key superheroes that has ever been momentarily existing, and I wish to God, okay, we've all heard, I'm sure, here and there. Oh, Richard came in chat. Why is he not showing up in the chat bar? Hold on, gotta do a correction here. Correct my tools, get things going again. There he is. Man, I bet he's sitting there just being like, geez, why is Ian ignoring me? I'm sorry, I had to look at the master screen in order to see that you even came in. I'm sorry about that. Sup, Ian? I've been waiting in eager anticipation for your stream since you announced it last night. Day was going hella boring otherwise. Were you at work? That would explain a lot. Work is one of those things where if it's just laying by, then that's kind of all there is to it. Alright, gotta keep slapping this Raging Bull guy around. I've gotta take care of his Raging Bulge. There we go. Anyways, as I was saying about the heroic superpower stuff that is one of my underrated, underutilized favorite characters in, I think, they were a DC character. Anybody in chat, and I'm almost certain both Richard and Rigid are gonna say that they know what I'm talking about, but are you familiar with the Static Shock cartoon series? Waiting to see some feedback here.
Dude! When push comes to shove, dude!
Just gonna keep tearing this guy apart while I wait for any feedback.
Foolish. My defenses.
Was Big Bull the same guy that we fought at the very beginning? For some reason I thought he died. No, Wednesday is one of my days off. It's just a situation of having so much to do that it feels like nothing because you can't choose. Oh my god, I've been there. Yeah, the humdrum of just daily, especially on the days that you're not working, it's just like, it's your opportunity to get all the shit done that you can't do because you're working, but then it still just feels like work all the same. Static Shock was probably my favorite superhero show when I was a kid, actually. I remember Static Shock. I loved that show. Okay, so we're all on the same page. Static Shock was a great show. Static Shock had a great start. Static Shock covered a lot of shit that, even with its relatively well delivery and touching on much of the subjects, I almost guarantee couldn't be done as well today, purely because Static Shock told those elements as a good story and made story first rather than the narrative push that came with it. I'm thinking like Richie being gay, the whole social dynamic of things going in society, things like that. You had so many elements that it played off of so well and consistently. But you see modern shows try to emulate that kind of storytelling, and instead of just having it be a good story where these things happen, they make it a story that happens because they need these things to be pushed, if that makes any sense. And building off of that, I don't want this character to come into prominence in this era because of that issue, but off of the emotion and concepts to that, I really wanted this character to be a real hero. a real hero that is more prominently pushed in concept. In Static Shock, there was a couple episodes, as I'm recalling, and I'm pulling deep in the brain. You know, that usually goes relatively poorly.
Behold, after my defeat at your hands in Udo, demonic weapon magistrate Cannon Line boosted my power manyfold.
No joke, Big Bull, you definitely had a little bit of working I had to do to get through that. Anyways, the character is, I believe, Anansi. Let me double check on the name there. Yes, Anansi, which in African folklore is like a spider god, and there's a whole like thing about many stories. I think it's referred to as like a trickster god or something like that. Anyways, you're gonna want to go and listen to someone who knows more about the proper folktale elements to that if you want to go deeper in. But in the adaptation that they had with Anansi in the DC lore of Static Shock, he kind of felt like a almost Zorro-like, and I mean like the Italian sword fighter Zorro. I hope I'm getting my canonicity correct here. The Zorro with the rapier character kind of felt like that in character, but like you know, a more African version of. But then their power felt very Spider-Man-like in some elements. I'm referencing to like his walking on the walls and things like that. But the thing that I thought was so cool was the general concept of his superpower. And I don't remember the episode as its whole well enough to necessarily know if my interpretation of that character is 100% correct. But I think his power was more illusionary. And rather, it was more like his ability to build upon his illusion elements and communicating in the moment made his illusion seem even more basically, it's the idea that storytelling was his superpower in a sense. And the raw concept of that seems like it could be something amazing. And I really think a character could be done with some really awesome work off of that idea. The idea that you have ties to an old god, like I don't know, you are somehow godly touched or something, almost in a Black Panther-like sense. Your power is largely inherited, but it's because of who you are, the person, that it works so well. The idea that you're creating illusions through communicating with someone in the moment, building a web of lies and deceit to set things up for you to dominate in a way that is fantastical and riding on the fantasy, but none of it actually really happens in the real world. It's all a fabricated illusion that, God, the idea just sounds so cool to me. And I don't know if anybody else understands where I'm going with that, but the idea that a character exists that could have moments showing, oh, they're super strong, they're super fast, and really it's just no. They tell great stories, and the magic of illusion makes you perceive it as the reality.
Why are you telling us this after you lost? Who are you, Wayne?
Obviously, that's a twisting and an adaptation on a character that was underutilized. But like, the idea sounds too cool not to have someone with a lot of talent run with.
What? Don't tell me you've forgotten me. I am Big Bull, the Protection Magistrate.
I actually remember Big Bull because Big Bull had that Big Bull energy. I remember that episode you're referring to. I remember that episode standing out to me, like how unique and freaky that guy's power was. That's what it was so unique. It was such a cool idea. And then they fucking did nothing with it. DC, the fuck is wrong with you? That existed at a relatively high point in people's creative writing for the DC universe. That was a thing that could have been amazing. And right now, I'd be hesitant if they ever said, oh, hey, this is what we're doing now. Because unfortunately, many of the writers that get these positions now just don't seem as talented. They seem focused on the wrong elements of what they're trying to pursue. It just seems like if it was done now, it wouldn't be done justice, unfortunately.
Of course I remember you. When I was in trouble, your sudden appearance brought Fuji and me together. I really owe you one.
That's not what happened.
No, that's basically what happened.
There you go again with that glass half full crap. Big bullshit over here is no match for Perico's fantasizing.
I welcome a battle, but there aren't enough flies to swat to make me hungry. Get 10,000 to make this interesting.
10,000 more units?
I have continued my training, so I can now triumph over you. I must continue.
No way! Egon kicked Big Bull right in his crown jewels!
You kicked Big Bull in the Big Bull! That's not okay! Egon,
You
like...
underestimated the great Higan Zeshosai! That's why you're still weak, Protection Magistrate Big Bull.
You know what? Hold on. I need to take a step back and acknowledge this. I suppose, at the very least, I need to give Higan the benefit of the warrior understanding. This is a teachable moment, a lesson here to be learned. If you're gonna call yourself the Protection Magistrate, you're gonna rock around as this armored unit, this defensive wall, the Big Bull. Bro, you've got to be rocking a cup.
You know my name? I'm so happy. Oh.
His only quality is being hard and tough. Can't do much with a man like that. How are you enjoying the entertainment?
His only quality is being hard. That line of text right there is all we need. There's also that episode where a guy who was a bullying victim ended up lashing out and accidentally shot. Yes, I remember that one. Yeah, no, it got real when it wanted to. You're absolutely right. Hold on. Okay, there's another comment here I missed here, so that's why I was thrown off by that. Yeah, no, it got pretty serious when it wanted to. Now, with that said, some of the quote-unquote lessons learned within certain episodes kind of felt a little too preachy here and there. But it was more so on an episodic basis when that happened and less the series as a whole feeling preachy. And I really think that's why it pushed through and was a massive success that it was. Either characterization or story should come first before trying to put out a message out there. There's an old saying, and I'm not gonna get the saying correct, so I'm just going to give the general concept of the message behind it instead, in which if you have a message that you truly believe in that you want to push, write a story. Just write the story. Write a good story, because what you truly think and feel will come out from that regardless. Elements will be presented within it because they're beliefs you truly hold, and that's going to come out in your characters. As long as you're writing good characters, as long as you're writing good stories, you can deliver messages that you might not have even thought of originally possible when you just try to focus on the messages and the ethos there. Like in Stephen King's Elevation, I agreed with the message, but it ended up being his worst book. It happens a lot. People unfortunately get wrapped up in the idea that they need to push certain ideologies rather than push great stories. But the idea of like someone's personality coming through in good stories, I've recently put out on Twitter someone doing an analysis on the Dark Tournament, and I watched them do an analysis on the first part of the first arc of Yu Yu Hakusho as well. In their first video, I made it up to the Yukina stuff when she first gets introduced, and then I didn't have time to finish the video. But I watched a lot of their recent thing on Yu Yu Hakusho, and the thing is, with a good story like that, there's a lot of people that talk about like analyzing various forms of art and media, and some people will push the idea that you can overanalyze, and maybe that's true, but I have never looked at something that spoke to me deeply and found myself overanalyzing, because when it's something that speaks to me on a deep and truly emotional level, the deeper I dive, the further I try to understand, the further I look into and interpret from the work, the person, the elements at play, all of those things, as I look further and further into it and see how the elements are played out, how the elements are used, I always seem to find myself finding a further, deeper admiration rather than a separation. And Yu Yu Hakusho is the one I'm using as an example because that guy did a pretty nice deep dive. But there are things that he covers in there that I'm looking at and I'm just like, you're right, but you can go even deeper. All of these things building up to this highlight moment in the Dark Tournament, they all matter and you're covering them individually, but there's also a totality story that's told as well. Anyways, my point is great stories will give people things to latch onto, and they will find your messages within the messages. And one of the things I loved in that video that he did was realizing, again, like when I watched it the first time, I was one of those kids. I liked Yusuke, I liked Hiei, I liked Kuwabara, but Kuwabara was the gag character. But when I watched it the second time, the third time, the fourth time, every single time, like Kuwabara is the character I gravitate towards. He's the guy that I idealize with, that I kind of understand already, but want a deeper artistic vision that this character represents, how he plays in the world. And I get that just watching the anime over and over again. I can dig deeper and deeper and deeper every time, and I seem to, every time I watch the series, pull something more as far as meaning to the show goes. It's also why I'm genuinely thinking about doing a reaction to the live action, because I have a deep love for the anime that I think many people who will cover it, many will, but I think many covering the live action also won't have that deeper connection there. They're gonna just be like, oh yeah, I remember Yu Yu Hakusho and I liked it and I watched it a couple of times. Hey Dem, welcome to the stream. You came in just at me reminiscing over my love for anime and various media. Alright, I've got a couple comments here to catch up back on, but how are... oh boy, that was a mistake. Anyways, Dem, how are things going? How have things been for you? Last I heard, you moved into a place and then you hit me up that you had some plans today, but I apparently had a misunderstanding of them, so while I leave off on that, I have to back up and read some of the past comments I've missed. That episode definitely wouldn't be made today with all the highly accelerated lead projectiles going on within institutions of learning. OKKO tried tackling the topic as well, but they effed it up with how they did it. OKKO was good, but not good enough to tackle something like that. They bit off more than they can chew with that one. I think a lot of I think a lot of people bite off more than they can chew with that topic because, in my opinion at least, the topic at play there, so many people say the right things of where the root cause of that is, and so many don't, but even the ones that do end up wanting to turn it into a debate that it shouldn't be. And what I mean by that is, whenever one of those events happen, you hear everyone saying, like, many people, the majority of people will play lip service to the knowledge that we have a mental health crisis in America. But then they resort to looking at the event and saying, the gun, the gun, the gun! And the answer is either have more guns in the school with responsible people, or have no guns everywhere at all. And I'm pro 2A, I'm pro gun. So as far as the idea of that goes, I would much rather have more armed, educated people in a building, sure, but that's not the issue here. It is the mental health crisis that needs to be tackled, not... That's a huge first step there, and people shift the talk away from the mental health crisis all too quickly, in my opinion. But I'm not looking to do a deep dive into the politics here. That's just a quick overage of my reasoning why I think when it gets touched on in pop culture, too many people fumble the issue a little too much. Anyways, we've got gameplay to get back into here.
Show you my things. I'll do my worst and cut you down right here and now.
No,
Why attack
my job
Yubana?
is to entertain you. Besides, there are still so many powered-up magistrates waiting for you. I'll show you to them.
That's really kind of you, but we really want to have a soak in the hot springs.
Can we do both? Hot spring wrestling?
Still not get it? That letter was a trap. They've already attacked us once.
Define trap, Fuji, because I feel like the situation at play is one I might willingly walk into, and if I am willing to throw myself into a hot spring for some pleasant roughhousing, as it were, with the fine lady we see on the right, is it fair to call it a trap? I know what I'm getting into.
So it was a trap after all?
Okay, so like the 18th, I got someone... Oh, someone's number that went nowhere. I believe I also kissed a blonde girl. Then on Friday, I also had a moment with the friend of the blonde girl, which is an unfortunate scenario. Oh man, that's a rough one. Go out partying and you think here you are getting the twice opportunity. I mean, it sounds like this would be a moment where it was, you weren't necessarily going steady or anything, it was just a thing happened, but then a thing happened with a friend of person A, and that's gonna blow up in your face, I'm sure. The way I see it, there wouldn't be such a massive mental health crisis in the United States if healthcare wasn't so expensive. I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to cause a debate here. Yeah, it is one of those things that is a highly considered topic, and it's not as simple a topic as anybody ever wants to claim it to be. To give you the highlights on my thoughts and opinions, the idea that healthcare shouldn't be free. No one is entitled to the labor of someone else, and other people. Medical care is a service provided at the end of the day, and the people performing it should be compensated for it. Advancements need to be compensated. People who find new and better ways to do certain things need to be compensated. But I almost think it wouldn't be as big of a deal if the government took their hands out of the pot. The problem is anytime the government puts money into a system themselves, people look at it and say, and I say people, I mean people in like the market sense. Look at things like that and say, look, the available pot just got bigger. We can take bigger chunks of pie. And don't look at what the smaller individual is capable of paying for said service. My point being is, it's a web of a nightmare, and it's one of those things where if you pick and chose from both of the major sides of the argument, you can find reasons to why to go one way or the other. But neither side, when you look at the platitudes they preach, have a solution that is going to go anywhere good. And that's the problem with the situation there, is politics muddying what should be a person-to-person, heart-to-heart thing, and because of the politics at play, you're never really going to get there until we sort that problem out. And that is why it is a nightmare web of an issue. Let's load up the next area. I left the friend with a...
Yubana said I should entertain the guests, so here I am.
Ooh, okay, we're getting some relatively recent repeat characters, but we're gonna have a fun one with her. I left the friend with a large mark on her neck. I think we know where that's going. Uh-oh, YouTube, you're breaking on me. You're breaking on me. Oh, there we go. I knew they were friends and didn't really remember the blonde girl. And I'm pretty sure they fell out. Oh, wait, hold up. Okay, my original interpretation of that when I read that was they had a falling out with you. Were you a wedge that caused a fallout between friends?
You ninnies! How could y'all fall for such a ridiculous letter?
Although, that's just about what I'd expect from Lord Ieyasu and his precious little friends.
Sakura, was she... I think she was one of the characters that was in the big tournament arc section that we covered.
Sakura?
Long time no see, little Miss Burglar. Even Sweesen's with y'all? Now that's a doozy. Color me surprised.
A lot happened back in the gambling netherworld. They won the demonic axe and sort of kidnapped me along with it.
I'm glad to see you're doing well, Yayaka. But what are you doing here?
Where are my manners? Thanks to y'all trouncing me, I've got to work my way up from nothing all over again.
I also got demoted from top idol down to total obscurity. But I won't lose. I'll outshine you, Bana. Just wait and see.
You do know I can't hear you, right?
I'm just gonna put it out there. She's got a lot of milk and protein she needs to add to her diet to start stepping up to the plate against Yubana. At least my personal opinion on the matter. Alright, so continuing down the marvelous misadventures of Dem. Then the 23rd, I walked my friend home. She was a bit upset, so I put my arm around her. Nothing behind it. Then Saturday, we all were a bit more drunk. And holding hands, cuddling the whole night. Well, where do I take that one? What I'll start with is friends that become more than friends. Always, in my opinion, as long as there's understanding between the two, never a downside. And that is a tricky tightrope to walk, and I wish the best for you, Dem, because I have seen far too many people fail to walk that tightrope, and I'd hate to hear that it goes that way with you. But knowing that it's a tricky tightrope, I will say that oftentimes the more perilous journeys have some of the better rewards to bring up an RPG element and reference point, and to try and avoid shoving my foot, I'm going to say shoe, and I don't know why my brain just broke in half, to shove my foot any deeper down my throat. Because if I shove my foot any deeper down that throat, I'm going to start kicking my own ass.
Ow! Beating up an idol? You're in for a scandal now! Breaking news! Hot Springs manager brutalizes idol! Yo, kids these days have quite a mouth.
I will say, I'm going to keep pausing on this scene because right now we've got a plethora of women for your viewing pleasure while I cover the topics here, because honestly, not much better screens to pause on, in my opinion. I finally found out why they haven't been changing the music for... That's... I don't think I ever paid attention to the fact that we weren't getting new music in Pokemon since Generation 6. I don't think I've ever, paid close enough attention to that. American dubbers make their own music so that they can receive royalty checks when airing it overseas. Hold on, American dubbers make their own music for the shows that they're dubbing so that they can receive royalty checks when airing it overseas. But wouldn't that only be if they're airing the dub overseas? Because this sounds similar to a lot of the issues that went around with the, back in the Dragon Ball Z day. There is a lot that went into play with, the soundtrack and the music's going on. I'm a big fan of the Bruce Faulkner tracks myself, but I don't know the ins and outs of that story. But I know that that was the big highlight for a lot of fans in the anime community at large, realizing that there's something going on with the music back end of the industry. And then, of course, we had Budokai 3 that had a fucking dope intro song. And I think that entire game got pulled, and I don't think it ever got revisited because of that soundtrack. Apparently there was some sort of unjust licensing user of something in some way in the development of it, but legitimately it was one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z fighting game openings. Had 4 people ask us about being together, then I saw her last night, had a good time, but not much happened. We were both... Well, you see, damn, there's the problem. You're both sober. Obviously, I'm joking. I am not advocating for getting her drunk, Dem. I realize where that went immediately upon saying it. No, I'm advocating for you getting drunk and making childhood decisions. No, but... what was I saying about shoving my foot down my throat and kicking my own ass? Because I feel like I'm there right now. Anyways, but it is great to hear that it's not going south. Now I might be meeting her sometime between 12 and 1, about a couple hours, for a late night walk. Well, hopefully the late night walk, ends on a good note, and hopefully things go well is all I'll say, because I feel like I've done a lot of stepping on tacks already. It just depends on if she went to the library or not.
If you keep running your mouth, I'll stick an apple in it and turn
I'm just
you
here
into a
just
nice
like,
roasted
Dem,
dinner."
go get you
Got it.
some, but at the same time I'm also like, but there are proper ways and methods, and I don't want to be that guy just being like, yo, just go get, because that's also not the approach I want to put out there.
Sorry.
That means
But again,
that's
I
nice. I'm
too
not
was
really
young
sure
and college bound once. I'm gonna say with my old man gripes and voice. And it's the time to do that shit. All too many people get too bent out of shape with mistakes made during those early years. But legitimately, that is when you're out there, you're putting yourself out, you're figuring out the world, the social norms and flow of things, and it's not. My point being is I see all these stories of people just being like, in college you did a thing and that thing was a no-no, and it's like, yeah, but that was 20 years ago, bro. Fuck off. People do things in their time to learn and grow, and after 20 fucking years, people do a lot of learning and growing. It sucks because the background music in modern Pokemon dubs is the most... Yes, it is. You're absolutely correct on that. Man, the older Pokemon shit had like substance and style and flair. You're absolutely right. A lot of the modern shit is cookie cutter Mickey Mouse bullshit, as to quote directly from Rigid Rat. I'm sure the English composer is trying his best, and I'm gonna give my shot at that name, Ed Goldfarb. That's a weird one. The last name, it starts out normal and goes slaps me with a left hook.
It's time to wipe the floor with these guys using the powers we got from Cannon Line. He'll be crushed when I bless him again.
I don't give a
What was
damn
that about
your sob
blossoming
stories.
again, Sakura?
Either way, I'm gonna do my worst.
I'm just saying, I made my comment earlier about the growth needing to be done, but you know, a second blossoming might be just the thing.
Cut you down!
I am making no good choices in life these days, it seems. Oh shit, I forgot to heal. Whoops! Well, luckily we have characters that can solve for my mistakes. Let me pull a few of them out and make sure that they're up to the task of covering for my poor decisions.
Time to
I actually think both of these characters are going to be needed to do some serious healing, but the Mega Heal should be reachable for her. Oh god, is that all the ones I have? Yeah. That's all I got. Alright, bring C4 out. We're certainly not at the realm there to make the distance. Now, is Evade as a skill? I'll find out when it happens. Does it guarantee evasion in combat, or is it like a massive boost to the evasion? Because if that's the case, it doesn't seem like it's only enemies either. So maybe with some creative character throwing, I can get someone over here to break that one. I don't know. I'm throwing myself at a wall right now, and I don't so much mind which way it goes. Alright, then get Theodore over here. Monster Toss Buffy. That's a good bit of advancement there.
be at peace.
Nice. Helping.
Rigid Rat in here promoting the flat is justice view. And look, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with the approach there within.
Try again.
You know, We are having a gentleman's moment of differing opinions, but you know what? I've already got my queen in the game, so. I mean, the day we held hands, one mate was very drunk. Had to go about everyone by.
I'll do it.
Had to go at everyone one by one. When it was my turn, it was just him, the girl, me, and a rando. When it was my turn, it was just him, the girl, me, and a rando start saying I'm only friends with any of them for her. Damn, I feel like I'm having a stroke trying to read that one. I almost guarantee my reading of that is the problem and not the wording, but I'm getting hung up somewhere in there. Boobs are boobs regardless. Enough said. Again, you know, the drunk Riz is a real strategy, and as long as it is one harnessed with appropriate decorum, it's a powerful strategy to work off of. Just gonna say. Okay, so it's not a guaranteed miss, but man, is that a huge buff to the evasion. Let's see, do I have anything else with, like, big AoE? Not to nearly as much of a degree as I wish I did. Burglar deliver... When did I get that skill? Alright, we're gonna stick with that. And finally, Theodore can get in here and make good work of his skill set. Actually, I need her to be... Whoa, whoa, whoa! Okay, control's getting a little funky on me. I need her back here for basic form to hit as many people as possible. She can ride back one more. Okay, you know what? I know how I'm going to play this out. We'll execute the moves that we've already selected. Alright, let's see this new move. Never mind, I'm not going to see this new move because the character died.
Take this. Don't die on me.
Dude, when push comes to shove, dude.
Ouch.
Considering I'm supposed to have a lot of evasions happening, that feels like far too many of my attacks actually landed. Alright, let's try that one again. And I want to see this one that I didn't recognize either, the Usagi Rush. But that also means we have hit enough of an advancement wall that I can start getting some healing going off. Yes. Do a mega heal from here. Big yes. Can she cross the gap? No, she cannot. Alright, so she's going to stick over on this side for now anyways. Defend.
Nice girl has arrived. Nice.
Oh, okay. I don't know why it was a rocket, but I'm not going to complain. Big fan of explosions.
Usagi. Destroyed.
Well, those new moves are special for sure. Alright, let's see here. She sat right by him. The rando starts asking if I slept with her like 10 times and made it super awkward. Angry dude said I should leave, and she's like, I'm going too if you're leaving. You know what? I've got to say, someone who is gonna... Okay. Good on her for being the kind of person to just be like, yo, don't fucking tell someone to leave, and if you do, fuck it, I'm going with them, just because rather be with the person that's not spitting bullshit. But what I'm getting at is, this reminds me of a situation I was in with a group of friends where I no longer eat at Applebee's. I know for a fact the person that was the root of my problem no longer works at the local Applebee's where I'm at, but it's a situation that played out in such a way, and the situations were as such, that I don't like the culture that they promoted there, and I am not going to go back. So it's no secret that I am a large guy, and I used to be significantly larger. I have done a lot of weight loss recently, been doing a lot of working out, and still working myself into a better position. But I went to an Applebee's with a group of friends, and at the time, I was the only motherfucker there working. I went into Applebee's with this group of friends as the guy there who was going to help float the bill, who was going to help cover everything and make sure we left a decent tip. That was literally my role, and I knew that going in. But we all were hungry. We were all out just hanging out as a group. And it came up that, hey, we should go out to eat because nobody wants to cook and nobody wants to do a fast food run. So we just figured we're going to go out to eat. So we go to an Arby's, and we're a whole group here, right? And needless to say, I am the largest in the group. And there are friends within my group who would present more favorably on the looks department. And as we get served, as we sit down and we're getting our menus and things, I ask a couple of questions about some of the things on the menu while our waitress was hitting on one of my friends. She literally, again, sitting as the waitress to a fairly large table of people, basically tells one of the people in the group to shut up and makes a derogatory comment about my weight. And at this point, I had already put in an order for like the table's appetizers, a couple of drinks for people, and this happens when she brings everything to the table. I let it be known that fuck this, I'm getting out. I get up and I walk away, and literally everybody at the table pushed. They already got their food, they already got their drink, their appetizers, mind you. They got their appetizers delivered, they got their alcoholic beverages delivered. They just pushed that shit to the center of the table and get up and walk out with me, and he was just like, he was the guy with the money. And the fact that a cultural statement was made there in the idea that you felt comfortable enough working there that you could kind of talk shit about someone coming to eat at your establishment. I get it. I wasn't the most visually attractive guy, and I also wasn't the kind of guy you necessarily want to see come in. But I was still a paying customer to your establishment, so fuck off. I'm out of here. And it meant a lot to me that my friends had my back on that statement, is where I'm going with that. The younger generation did something right, shortening charisma to Riz. It's some that's some regular show shiz right there. It's one of those things that it took me a long while to get used to, and if I'm gonna be perfectly honest about it, still not something I necessarily prefer going off of, but it is definitely an entirely old man-ism that is. Oh, that's right, she already moved. That is my hang-up there, because it's definitely one of those things that's got a lot more staying potential than a lot of other slang terms that crop up over the generations. There we go. And yes, Dem, everyone is impressed by your W charisma stats. Man made his character sheet and figured out a way to just be like, yo, but what if my charisma went higher than standard? How do I make that happen? Man actually stopped and read the character creation guide. And now You didn't know that, Richard? Crazy that the waitress did that? the simple fact of the thing is I don't think she was necessarily there because she was looking for a job and needed the money. It was probably more so one of those things that she's just there to be there. She was more interested in hooking up than she was doing a job. And I think that's made fairly evident, hold on, by the fact that she was willing to be that rude to one of the people at the table, but also trying to play favoritisms in the hitting on another as well. But, you know, it was kind of funny that everybody gets up and the only thing I remember them saying was, he was the guy with the money, and just got up, and it was just like, we're not, the people who drank some of their drink, they didn't pay. The guy that ate some of his food, he didn't pay. It was just like, fuck it, you basically telling us to get out of here, and you know what, fuck you, we doing that. Actually, now that I think about it, I think Shay Jeff did a video explaining Riz, so I might have...
This is my number.
Oh god. I feel... Okay.
I do declare.
Well, that was a thing. Richard, are we officially... First of all, I'm older than you are, so clearly this means that I am dinosaur-level ancient, playing poker with the Grim Reaper kind of age here. But are we officially old when we're looking at content creators and trying to figure out, using content creators' deep dive into slang to try and understand said slang? 30 and a half in January. Y'all old man. Dem, I have never made any statement to the contrary. I am an old man. I am a bitter old man. What was that line that we had with the Mega Man? I am a tiny baby stuck in an old man's body. Although, to be fair, I have a little bit more competence going on in my existence than that. No, I genuinely, I think I am of that point in life where I'm more so in line with the thought of, I don't know, give a fuck no more. I am well and comfortable where I'm at, and proving to be more than capable. And so at this point, it's just, you know what, I'm gonna do me, and if that goes somewhere, great. If not, well, no, fuck it.
I screwed up.
Take this.
There's actually an old guy who works at the Walmart house. His name is Boomer. Bro knows what he's doing.
Rear support.
Say what you will, but that sounds like someone who knew what was going on. Unironically, though, a lot of those Walmart greeter people, legitimately, a lot of them are people that are in that position because they would struggle to do any other job. But, with that said, some of the genuinely nicest people to have momentary one-on-one human interactions with.
Y'all really are strong, but I'm not throwing in the towel. Time for a round of Demon Shogi.
Yo, again, I was down for Demon Shogi the first time. Now you're telling me Demon Shogi in a hot spring? Let me go grab my trunks. I'm old, I'm fat, and I'm still trying to relate to young people. Yes, I know this is a practice in futility, and I do not care. You know what? Again, find the you, man. Yeah, I see, again, and he's a nice guy. It's just, this is why, okay, I'm gonna set my controller down. This is gonna be a deep dive here. I've talked about this before, and I've skimmed over the idea, and I have genuinely thought about doing, because you guys know I like my anime. I like my Japanese animation. And I've talked about some of my favorite animes. My most personal, the shows that spoke to me deeply: Yu Yu Hakusho and Gurren Lagann. And it is within those two shows and many of the messages and topics touched on within that have resulted in a personal view of the value of life that I think a lot of people, again, this is because it's my view, everybody thinks this about their own view. It's a fact of talking with people. People are gonna think their view is right. So, off of that statement, I genuinely think there would be a lot more healthy growth societally if people would at least move a little bit closer to the concept I have here. And it is that life is sacred and holds great value, even in the most obscenely minimal view of things. The idea that the ripples of a person's life through their existence can mean that I've talked about the idea of much in Gurren Lagann, humanity is a drill ever driving forward, and the best thing you can do is to try and just live your life not trying to turn the drill the other way. But in that, there is the idea that I hold that even the smallest actions can have massive pushes on that drill without people ever realizing it. And I draw this thought from, if you will, think of an individual, maybe wheelchair bound, unable to move of their own will, someone who is needing personal care 24/7 in their life, trouble speaking, but someone who carries within them a will to continue living, a want to push forward, a want to be, to partake in the human experience. Someone in that position can go through their life and seemingly make the most mundane things seem powerful and emotional. The act of smiling and saying, "How are you?" surprisingly carries weight within these people. And so I genuinely think people that just try to live well, no matter how small, can have massive movements on that drill. And it's why I say that even people that you might consider to be societally on the lower runs of things in such a manner have their place in the world, and it is with value. Even, and I've talked about this before, even like when a parent tries to bring life into this world, and through unfortunate situations, a stillborn happens, and the child never enters the grander world. I realize this is a weird deep dive to go off of on a Disgaea game, but bear with me. Because I love talking about this because it touches me on a spiritual level. That such a child, never making actions within this world, but the potential of that life, the emotional weight that carries, the people who wanted that child to be will have been forever touched by that moment, and that momentary action that seemingly is nothing. Literally, the child was not born, and yet here you have emotional weight unlike any other that people carry through their life. That child's being was never wasted. The emotional impact that child had on the world will ripple out and affect countless people in the world. That child arguably has the purest experience in the human amalgam. And I love this personal view I take because it really makes me stop and think and approach everybody with care and heart. Even people who maybe wrong me in the moment or are just absolute dickbags or whatever. I don't want bad things for them, because in their life, almost inevitably, good things will happen. Good things will come out of even the negative actions they take. Good things can happen from that. In that story I had with that lady who was a total bitch at a restaurant, although her actions were negative in the moment, they resulted in a positive experience between me and my friends. And it would not have happened without her bitchy attitude. The mindset you're referring to is why I have a habit of opening the door for people and greeting them while working at every opportunity. The one friendly greeting can change a person's entire day. What's wild, Rigid, is first of all, you're absolutely right, but it's even deeper than that. One positive interaction with someone can change their entire future. It sounds weird and it sounds cliched, but there is a famous story about a man who was deep in depression, deep in the throes of depression, and he is walking out onto a bridge with the intent to kill himself. And he walks his entire way, and he looks at the people as he's passing by. From what I understand, the problem here is problem, it's not the right word to use, but the situation here is the man failed in his attempt, but did give the attempt. And it was afterwards he got interviewed and gave the statement that the reason he was going to throw himself off, or did, or whatever, however it played out, was even in his last moments, he walked his way to this bridge, looking for anyone to just even acknowledge him in the world, look at him and smile and wave. That's was what he just wanted, acknowledgement from anyone, any passerby. And it's why even just holding the door open for someone and smiling and saying have a good day has more weight than I think people give it the proper thought and attention to. I know it's like weird frou-frou mindset, and a lot of people are gonna write it off and think of it as passé, but it's why being a decent person and having guidelines for yourself that you stick to and build upon. Viv, you have come in at a very awkward time. I'm literally having a deep dive emotional outreach here. You weren't supposed to come in and see this. But yeah, it's why just being a good person is arguably the most important thing people can do on a wide scale. I think that's the way I'm going to wrap that up. I flat out once said I hoped the kid who bullied me when I was a kid is doing well. That being said, I hope I never come across a douchebag ever again. That is a statement and a half. What do you mean I'm agreeing with you? Viv! But I'm not supposed to be the fluffy heart man. that's I know I'm the big teddy bear, I get this, but also big ego energy, fuck off, booyah. Oh man, let me just drop my controller now.
Down. When I say I'm gonna play, I mean it.
I can be both.
It's Bloodjack time.
Oh, it's the card lady. Can we play today too? We wanna play.
There's a first for everything.
What?
Yeah, no, definitely clean yourself up, make yourself presentable. You got a thing to go do.
Hold up now. Hey, don't go messing with those cards. I had them set up for cheating.
I'll be honest, I'm one of those guys that I don't think I could take a 10-minute shower anymore.
Why don't we go play
Growing up,
today?
absolutely.
After all, kids are potential future fans. Yippee!
So many dang orphans round these parts. Well, y'all, I've got some urgent business to attend to. I'm counting on you hear?
Don't sweat it. We've got no beef with you goons.
Me? A goon? Ouch! That really stings. Just you wait. I will blossom into a famous idol once again.
So what are we gonna play? Gin Scummy? Old Hag? Crazy Hates?
These kids show up and they're just like,
Sardine
Playing card
I'll even
games.
teach y'all how to cheat.
Sardine Hold'em.
Why would you do that, Gayaka? I've got a better idea. Sing and dance.
Nah, Yayaka's out here being like, yo, let me teach you some real street skills here. But yeah, anyways, no, I have long since reached that point where a shower is not going to be 10 minutes. I have discovered the wonderful world of self-care.
Change somehow. I guess demons.
And that means that I spoil myself on everything.
Empathy after all. I just know it. I mean, isn't it the same for you?
If it goes on too long, they're probably doing something other than showering. I am not referencing that, Richard. I am saying that, you know, proper cleaning is actually a thing, and then grooming afterwards. You know, there is a whole process, and just make sure you take care of your body.
The best warrior ever.
As you should. It is not just going to clean up. It is a mantra experience. It is a thing to cleanse the body and the mind. And frankly, there's a lot of times. Lovely. Clearly, my dog is having fun.
Where'd all the smoke come from? And now there's a ping pong table too? What's going on here?
One moment, guys. I need to step away and deal with my dog. Clearly, she has found something that is worth a lot of energy spending. I apologize for that. Rhea has discovered that she can peek her head through the heavy curtain and see the dogs next door when they go outside. She wants to go play.
It is I, Akuma, the Ping Pong Magistrates. I am the deadliest assassin in all of Garrohan Springs.
I'm sorry. A ping pong assassin? Is this some like Forrest Gump shit going on?
You're the ping pong magistrate?
Don't diss him, Prilica. Dude's seen some shit.
And
He's
your
lived a
name's
life.
Akuma? So like a demon named Demon?
How rude! Hinomoto equals Haunt Springs, and Haunt Springs means ping pong. So, I represent Hinomoto itself.
See, again, a man who has found his passion and made it his life. Hell yeah.
Fighting weaklings is boring enough. Now we have to play ping pong too. I'll kill you with a single blow.
My grandparents used to have a ping pong table in their basement, and the amount of welts all of the cousins had from beaming each other across the table with either a ping pong ball or a paddle.
It's the only time we truly face one another in single combat.
You are not playing ping pong until someone gets furious enough to whip the paddle across the table and belt you in the face.
Play against the wall if you're so desperate.
Until you reach that point, you're just slapping balls.
You lose by forfeit.
I just-
And every netherworld would fear that
You know what? I'm gonna leave that one hanging.
That's so unfair!
This is the very method Akuma used to become a magistrate.
If the ping pong magistrate was a Pokemon trainer, he'd probably use Ambipom.
Ambipom.
And you know what? It would be the weirdest, most broken Pokemon Ambipom
Right.
ever used.
Let's kill him. Then we can chat.
No!
The alternative options, hear me out. Back in the day, there used to be a trainer class referred to as the Juggler. And I'm just picturing somebody doing that with the
I've already
paddles.
soaked in the springs for quite a while. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Honestly, the trainer portrait for the jugglers, I think it went through a couple of iterations, and it kind of got goofier and goofier as it went, because originally it was actually a halfway decent looking bit of sprite art.
99 million times, right?
Bingo! When it comes to Hot Springs ping pong theory, you really know yourself.
Look, I was already on Akuma's side on this, and C4 comes in and is just like, you know what? Let me just voice all of those opinions.
Fine, if you really insist on dying. But this is gonna be my paddle. Kanzan Musashi!
What? That's against the rules! Referee! Referee!
I mean, it's also against the rules to throw the paddle across the table, but never stopped us.
Fighting one-on-one. What a bang. We're all gonna do our worst.
The worst person to play against was my eldest male cousin, because the man was one of those people who could not stand to lose anything ever under any circumstances, and I swear to God, if it was gonna guarantee him a win, he would break your leg.
I'm gonna do my worst.
Magic range +1. You know what? Considering, this is kind of interesting, because I think this guy's built off of the warrior class. And I'm curious how that's going to play off of the magic premise. I think the intention is for me to throw these explosive barrels?
In the name of the Shosai!
Alright, you know what? I'm going to try something here. Because I don't know what they're necessarily asking of me. However, I actually think I can completely bypass this and just go this way. Absolutely. Alright, so I'm just... Whatever game you wanted me to play, I'm just going to throw myself over it. Alright, put that back down. And, you know what? I'm going to try this one-on-one and see how bad this goes.
You're not getting away.
Oh! Did you know the cue ball trainer class was originally called the trainer class? That is an unfortunate choice of words for such a class, because rather I kind of enjoyed the biker gang vibe that they gave. But again, this is coming off of the thought that you know, genuinely bikers are just chill people. Uh-oh. That was a mistake. Not that it matters. There is no strategy. It's just my numbers are bigger.
Gonna cry a little.
But yeah, the original cue ball character art in red and blue was kind of like right up my alley, and I vibed with them pretty hard. They were kind of presented kind of poorly, but you know, they were it was a biker gang.
Good match, don't you think?
You went for me, not the ball! That was just a battle. Unless you beat me at ping pong, I'll never admit defeat.
Again, I don't have to beat you at ping pong if I just make you incapable of playing and then start the game. Gonna take my cousin's approach to this.
Play one game.
You're in for it now. Ping pong is my soul. My world now, but...
Yes! Tell me that's what he does here.
The heck? He couldn't even return his serve.
Oh no, he actually just...
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're actually, like, really good at ping pong, Fuji.
Hey, Dad.
Playing ping pong is like performing art from your soul, and Fuji has a powerful soul.
I think you mean a big fish in a small pond. What the hell's a squish, anyway?
Such ping pong power. Those aren't your average moves. Are you from here by any chance?
You do know you can learn ping pong anywhere, right?
Also, somehow we have a
Can you
flashback
react to that
anyways.
just now?
Fuji's good. Maybe one day he'll be the best ping pong samurai in all of Hinamoto.
Of course I'm good. Besides sword training, there's nothing else to do here other than play ping pong.
Nice one, kid. I'm up next. I've come up with a new technique. Are you scared?
Sounds like he has a clickety-clackety bouncy soul. One that's asking to get paddled.
This place is nothing but
I think in the reference here,
You shouldn't
he
have come
is
here.
the... Wait.
Well,
He is the one who
meeting
paddles.
you here has to be fate. Don't
What
you
I was
think,
gonna say
kid?
and realized where that was going.
See you again.
Again,
See ya.
putting my foot
Oh, that's
far
cold.
too
Why
comfortably
don't you
placed
just call
in
me
my
C
mouth.
like back in the day when you looked up to me as a senior disciple?
Alright, next chapter. We're just... Again, back to back, rapid fire. We're making our way through this whole chapter today.
You again. You've got some real nerve showing your face in this netherworld.
Oh, so scary. With that kind of belligerent attitude, I'm impressed you managed to get Suisun on your side.
We
I felt
did
it
kind
back on
of
Sardine
kidnap
World,
him,
too.
but
You've changed
the
so much,
resistance
but I
was
didn't
minimal.
recognize you at first, kid. Being here brings back memories, I bet. Young Fuji, training with swords and playing ping pong with Mom every day.
Wait. The way this is worded is not clearly stated to be his mom, Fuji's mom, and in fact kind of promotes the possibility that they're siblings. I assumed that female character before was Fuji's mom, and which is why it was made so, shadowed out and left to the imagination so far, because she hasn't been properly introduced. But now going off of this statement,
Your mom? Training with swords. Fuji, do you have some kind of connection to Garo Hot Springs?
Wait, you mean you haven't told your friends yet? Back in the day, Master Mugai's disciples used to gather
I
here
am
at
not
his dojo,
salting the meatballs.
and that includes
Rigid.
the Master's
That's
son.
no.
Swordmaster Mugai had a dojo here. And Fuji was the son of a dojo master.
I have walked into one too many traps, and I am comfortably placing the
Yeah.
statements down for a moment.
Mugai was my father.
What? I had no idea. Why didn't you say so before?
I think it was brought up before.
Just hearing that Fuji was Mugai's pupil was enough to blow my mind.
Okay, it was that Mugai was brought up. That might have been it.
Fuji is Swordmaster Mugai's son. Factoring in his connection with, again, the probability wasn't 0. But still.
I'm not in the mood for a trip down memory lane. It's true. My mom ran an inn nearby, and my dad's dojo was also here.
But again,
My
the
dad was
the
killed
way that
over
that statement was made kind of
Seed
more
and
implies
Benny
that
Kage
he
left,
also saw
and the
her as
dojo
his
fell
mom.
apart.
So either a mom in the sense
Day
of
became hell.
another adult female that helped raise you, or a mom in the sense of
That sounds really rough.
Fuji's brother.
That's when I found Fuji, collapsed from exhaustion. I was really the one who trained him, so there was a silver lining.
But off of that, I've mentioned before, I am one of those people that had that other female adult in your life to help raise you. And I just went out, I talked about Black Friday shopping, and I picked up a couple of things to put together a fairly sizable personal spa kit, and I'm kind of hoping it's going to go over well for her.
Silver lining my
Yes,
life.
I still go and I still see her. I know I no longer live in the area, and it's a trip I make out of intent. But you know, when people make that kind of an impact on your childhood life, it's not one that just goes away.
Never mind that, kid. Why don't you stop being so stubborn and come over to my side?
I need to focus on what you're playing before my mind hits the trenches. Rigid, I've been deep in the ditch all day.
Master Mugai was no match for Opener. Talk to him and you'll see. No one can beat that beast.
Just like old times. You'd welcome me back with open arms. I wouldn't have to worry about money anymore.
Bye-bye, poverty.
But even if I got no empathy or Bushido, I don't recall ever throwing away my pride.
Hell yeah!
Better a stray than a shogunate lapdog.
That personal self-elevation. You can't buy it.
I'll cut you down!
Alright, let's get Fuji up here and just start wailing away, because I can.
Can you handle this? Nothing safe for
I was
me.
essentially raised by both my mom and my grandma because I never... That's unfortunate. Were you... Out of curiosity, and this is just a thought question... Did you ever have a, because I know a lot of people that didn't, did you ever find in, whoops, picked up the wrong person, in your life a positive male role model to fill that void? Not that one's necessarily needed, but it is just a thought I'm having on the topic thereof. I'm gonna have him throw C4 over here, because
Here it comes!
rather see her in action. But, yeah, I actually, I get... is mocked the right word? I have been... I guess mocked is the right word. I have been mocked before for my statement made when my grandmother died. She had been fighting Alzheimer's and losing, because unfortunately it is one of those battles that I've at least never heard of someone winning. But she was at that point where she was gone, but not completely yet. You would see traces come through. That light of her person coming back momentarily here and there. And I had been mocked for my statement that even there at her funeral, saying that I don't care what anyone says, my grandmother walked on water. Having powerful and meaningful connections with the people in your family like that is... I'm being sentimental, but it's something that can't be beaten. Being dragged to a bar by a mutual friend. To a pre-game walk. You know what, Dem? Not gonna fault you, man. Go have fun. Yep, we'll see you around when you're next able to drop in. But when you do, I expect to hear more good news.
Good job.
No fucking it up, man.
Your Shogun has returned.
All right, let's put a bullet in the back just for the fun of it. The flare. All right, that should be putting a lot of pain out there. So let's see what that leaves everyone with.
Nice.
You know you'll be the first to know if anything happens. All right, man. And get your pregame in. Get the walk underway, and let me throw Higan around here, because you know that's a closet dream of mine. Anyways, but yeah. Hopefully things go well for you, bro.
Not yet. Let's go.
You know, I thought I was like so over-leveled that I'd be running through these not even seeing numbers pop up, but I'm actually taking a little bit of a beating here and there.
Not bad.
I kind of thought the worst thing I'd be facing would be one of my player characters getting confused and just turning around on me and slapping me senseless. Because some of the characters are a little more over-leveled compared to the others. Hold on. Okay, she can't move, but from here she could, in theory, still attack, which is interesting. Alright, take that. And we'll just, Yo, hold up, the Jumbity. That'll get me over there and just start tearing face apart. Alright. Jumbify right behind him. And just start punching things. Punch all of the things, hell yeah. Kill anyone. I didn't realize those were achievements I was building towards. Just start dropping bodies.
No! I was chosen to be a founding weapon wielder before! How could this happen to me again?
How could this happen?
Don't use infernal treasures or the shogunate as excuses.
I realized that was going to a high note that I was not going to be able to match.
The old you was so much stronger, you know. Maybe you should leave the shogunate.
Huh? Mouthing off to your elders and betters? Next time, I swear I'll win.
Yeah, to be clear, Rigid, I wasn't saying to meet your dad. I meant, were you able to find, growing up, a male role model character of some variety? I don't care, fiction, reality. Out of curiosity, because it seems that when people don't have a good or any fatherhood figure, it's too easy to see people slip into finding poor role models. Obviously, that's not what happened in your case, but I've also seen it where people kind of create this distance and don't ever find anyone, and I've seen people turn out just fine from that. But it is an anomaly, and I'm kind of curious if that's was your case, or if you ever gravitated towards any. But like I have a friend I grew up with who kind of, in a way, you know, he was a big fan of basketball and was hugely involved in, you know, pursuing. And first of all, what I'll say is the person he chose as a personal icon and idol, great choice. But Shaquille O'Neal, that was kind of who he saw as a sort of, not father figure, but you know, that male role model that you see, you idolize, and you build off of in that sense. Kinda, it's complicated. Oh, yeah, okay, you know, I'll leave it at that. To finish reading the comment earlier, though, honestly, from what I was told, he was a piece of work. Yep. Yeah, it was just a passing curiosity based on, you know, comparing to other people I've known that I've seen have those unfortunate circumstances. I've talked about my situation that while my father was here, he and I rarely ever saw eye to eye, and a lot of headbutting, a lot of personal problems and situations, but it wasn't until he died and I had the unfortunate situation of looking at things through the lens of hindsight. And you know the old saying, hindsight is unfortunately 20/20, in which I saw all of the things he did, all of the small things, all of the big things, all of the things that were pieces set in place that I didn't even see that never even showed themselves until afterwards. And it is unfortunate in my case that I didn't see the kind of man he was until he had passed away. But now going off of that, I go forward with myself carrying a weight that I have something to live up to on that, but that is my circumstances and my situation. Other people always find that drive in whatever avenue they find, and again, it's why I didn't say that anyone ever needs to have that role model in their life, because I have seen people make great things of themselves without it. But that was the path that I found myself walking down.
Your personality's still crappy, but maybe something shifted when you faced Fuji as a fellow disciple.
To quote Rascal Flatts, life is a highway.
You have so much kindness and empathy.
And I'm not going to go any further because YouTube copyright system is fucking garbage.
Your words may have been harsh, but you trained alongside again.
Which, by the way, Richard,
Care about him.
hats off to you, man, having the balls to stand up to the YouTube system making music. Because I don't know if you get them or not, but simply just being like, yo, I'm doing covers, fuck you.
Moved by your kindness.
You and your damn positivity! Stop making stuff up!
Coughing up blood just proves how super kind you are.
And I wanna ride it gets blocked worldwide. Gets kicked off the platform. Fuck you, bring the banhammer.
Let's go have a soak.
Yeah, let's go. I'm beat.
Yo, we have been here this long and we still haven't even gotten into the hot tubs. Or the hot springs.
I can't wait to experience the rejuvenating powers of the springs.
I have genuinely thought about, to take it to Richard doing his covers, I have genuinely thought about before one of the times that I have to take my long drive to my office, which I've mentioned before is like multiple hour trips. And one of my favorite things to do to pass the time in there is to just bring some music and sing to myself in my car. I have genuinely thought about putting a camera in my car just to record the absurdity of the guy just driving his car full jamming out at 5 in the goddamn morning. But anyway, I've thought about doing that and just putting a power clip of a bunch of highlight moments that I think people would laugh at and get a little giggle out of. But I have yet to actually bother doing that.
Yes?
Would make for a really funny video clip for me to put out to as like a subscriber milestone, just me embarrassing myself with poor singing.
You wish to soak in the haunt springs?
That's the plan. It's
But again, like, I don't necessarily feel like when people sing, it's sing, perform, any of that stuff, even what I do here, it's not always about being the best at it. There's something to be said about just passion, drive, and heart being put into something. And I don't know, maybe I'm just being an artistic airhead, but the elements of that, I think, are more meaningful on the interpretive scale than something that rides high popularity necessarily. It's, I think, a big part of what plays into the mindset when people complain about modern music and they're just like, oh man, all of this corporate pushed stuff is just hot garbage, but the indie scene, man, yeah! It's the same thing with a lot of art. Where you find heart and spirit and soul is where you find the better performances, even if they're not what becomes popular. And to, I think, build off of that very thought, Richard says, I sing because I like to sing, and I write lyrics half of the time because I like to write. Other people don't like it, that's cool, I still enjoy doing it. And again, when I sit there and I watch your videos, there's a couple in recent ones that you've done where you can hear, like, if you stop and you listen and you take in the performance in its whole, you can feel some heart and passion when you deliver some of the lines, and I just think it's because you're in it. You feel the vibe in the moment when you're singing.
Well then.
And it translates into the content, and I sit there and I'm just like, fuck yeah. The human experience is not one to be ignored, and I enjoy seeing people steep themselves in it.
There must be some mistake. The letter we got yesterday said we were invited here free of charge.
Take a closer look. It doesn't say anything about including the bath package, now does it?
Yo! They hit me hard with that!
Charging 10 million hell just to get in the water?
Oh shit!
What's the point of coming to a hot springs inn if you can't use the hot springs?
The inn part, you know, people travel, they need a place to stay, so that's a thing.
That was your master plan.
But that is dark. I'm not even here, and I feel like that's an evil play, and I kinda gotta respect it for it. My YouTube content is just whatever I find funny at the time because I like making people laugh. Again, the kind of things that just people shouldn't downplay that human experience stuff. It's also why I mentioned earlier in your comment video that I like to promote these things even if I don't have anything particularly meaningful to add. Sometimes I'll still share them out to Twitter and not say anything. Sometimes I'll just leave a whatever one-off comment that is, like, at this point practically copied and pasted. But it's because these things help push the content out there, because I see the fun in it and I see what people are going for, and I want to push that as good as I can.
There was a 100% probability of there being a trap, but there's no way I could predict just how stupid their plan would be.
I'm happy as long as I get my dark dumplings.
We're so close, but we can't go in. This is unjust. Your divine punishment shall be by my hand.
I have a question about the premise of this game and the overhanging, the almost feeling like the sword of Damocles, but although a little different in the delivery here, but the content, the context there is the thought exists of debt in this game. This game allows you to do a lot of side content and grinding. And if you're willing to put in the effort and bump and grind your way, yes, I meant it that way, but also play this game and decide to actually put the time in, you could get 10 million hell by this point in the game. Like, no problem. You could be so stupidly over-leveled, you could have more money than you'll ever be able to spend. If you reached this part in the game and had that kind of money, it would be hilarious, and I highly doubt it's the case because it's kind of telling a story and not building off of the potential meta back end, but it would be hilarious, in my opinion, if when you got to this point, if you had the money, you could spend it and get a separate scene of the hot springs.
Looks like I struck a nerve. Frustrating all of you was my master plan all along.
God damn it, Yubana! She knows how to play with emotions.
Right there,
Just
but
like a
you can't
succubus.
Get in them. Tell me, how does that make you feel?
Burn it down! Burn it all down!
Just let us in.
Can she stop you? If you just force your way in? Alright, obviously, Prilica wants her revenge, so we're gonna let her go get it. First things first, she can open up that treasure chest, though.
A test of strength.
Alright, let's see, God, I want to be able to get Theodore up there, but I'd have to throw it. That's the whole problem with Prinnies. As much as I love Theodore, The fact that I can't give him the old chucking and he's got to be the one to do the chucking. Alright, she can throw someone as well fairly well. Who's another fun character getting up there? Mikuru would be fun. Although she's way underleveled. Nope, we'll just go with this. Good enough up here. Did that just say the jugular thruster? That's a potential name choice with different meanings.
I'll show you. I'll take
Didn't realize the game was promoting that type of content. Alright, Hegan can stay behind, but we're gonna throw everyone else up.
And away!
Ah, shoot, I did that backwards. Alright, well, we'll make do. Oh, she can't get up there. Alright, we'll do it that way.
Ah, sorry. Ah.
There we go. That'll work. I don't know, game. It seemed like a poor decision to have the mage just walk right up to my warriors.
I'll show you.
They are buffing her pretty consistently. The somersault combo. I don't think we've seen that one yet either. We might have, but I don't pay attention to the Mothman characters very much. I think we only just recently encountered one of the earlier ones when we were at the not Amazon location. The legally distinct Amazon warehouse. Where they were selling people, which is the most weirdly accurate thing to what I perceive of from Amazon that they could have done.
Can you hit? Sorry.
Like, how dare you be that accurate? Alright, so yeah, I do want to be one square away. Oh, shoot. But you can still attack. Yeah, get it over with. Oh shit, they're all stuck. Alright, I think from here I can throw her. Yes, alright. So we'll throw you. And then we'll throw you. How is... Oh god. Oh god, there's more here than I thought! I thought it was just going to be a straight shot up here to the boss now. Maybe I won't do it that way. Because now I have problems I'm dealing with. I have reduced my numbers due to status ailments, and, need to be a little cautious about who I have left. Oh, one of the things that I have talked about, again, I think on Twitter before, but I have not brought up on the channel yet, is going into this holiday season, I have some... Oh, okay, so that status ailment doesn't last that long. Fair enough. But going into this holiday season, I have some new things I'm going to be setting up for the channel on the creation side of things. I got some new things I'm bringing in, some updates to my equipment, and I'm very excited to get those together. But it's something that I'm going to need to take some time to put together. So come the end of December, January, all the New Year stuff, there might be a period in time there in which I take a couple of extra time off to get things set up. But with the added benefit, hopefully, of when you guys come back. I think everybody's moved over there. Hopefully, hopefully things will be. I don't know how much of the benefit you guys will see, but I will have things hopefully more organized, and I will have better tools at my disposal. But anyways, that's all things that we'll see what comes of that as the timeline more quickly approaches.
What? You frightened?
One of the big things I'm getting is some long-wanted PC updates, but again, that's just more so going to be on the performance side of things. It's those aren't going to be things you're ever going to necessarily notice or see the results of, because I think all of my streams have to be done at 720p because the internet is expensive and hard to get high speed where I'm at. There we go. But also, I should hopefully be in a position where I no longer have to make use of the chat system the way that I do. I will have a more dedicated option, which would be awesome. Because right now, I basically have to use a screened version from my phone, and as we have seen, that sometimes leads to comical results of me dropping the entirety of my chat group. I wanted to have Prilica be the highlight character on this, but she just can't keep up.
Take this. Don't die on me.
It's such a fairly standard anime as heck attack, but I love that basic form shot.
I'll take your cash and your life.
Alright, let's send C4 back this way and hopefully help Prilica cover the distance a little. Alright, if I throw her here, can he carry her while moving? Oh, he can! I never checked that. That's huge. Because off of that, look at that advancement there in one turn. I never knew that, and that is so fucking massive. Oh god. Okay, that will work. That is not. Whoops. That defense is too big.
It's no use.
And now she's surrounded by all the heavily armored melee fighters.
Ready to fight.
Oh, that could be a mistake. But it will be a fun mistake. I'm suddenly reminded of the the meme of the lady surrounded by the porn actors on the sofa. Please don't take that avenue here.
It's no use.
Not yet.
God, the damage is building.
Reloaded.
Alright, I think this is probably my better way. Yep. And didn't she have one that was like everyone nearby, or am I thinking of somebody else? Alright, I must be thinking of somebody else, but this is still a good skill to attack everyone here with. Alright. Monster Toss. But I think she can still move, right? Yes, okay. So up here, and then throw, and she can deal with all these mages in the background here. Alright, well, she can at least shoot him. If she doesn't have any skills to reach, the gun will still work.
Don't die on me!
Fire blade! The heart!
To think I've been hesitate. Not yet.
As with many video games, unintentionally, the gun is the best skill. Put all your points into gun.
I'll show you.
I don't know if you guys have ever played any of the Coliseum-like Pokemon games, but you know one way to solve a lot of those problems?
Not yet.
Nothing stops the villainous characters in their tracks, like pulling out a Glock. But apparently the games don't intend that to be the answer they're looking for. Alright, that does still reach. And we can send you off in this direction. Alright, Prilica, get in there. Tear her apart. I mean, I guess here, why not? Alright, you know what? That's not bad on damage. I can't really stack it up this way, so we'll go with that. Of course, the kitty cat Kamehameha.
Sorry.
Here we go! Crazy laser!
I still don't know what the like where does she get that from? What purpose does a Giganto Ray serve? You bitch! How dare you? We were having the one-on-one opportunity.
I studied for this.
Skip ahead past some of that.
Springs! Your rave will go unmarked.
Alright, well, unfortunately, I can't have her also Jumbify to answer the call. So, gonna have to leave that to Fuji. Just go right across the table. Have the ping pong match we were denied earlier. Okay, I don't think I can use specials here, but let's see. Just punch the other giant character from across the table.
My perfect plan ruined. However, I am a magistrate, whether in name only or not. I'll stop at nothing to keep you out.
If you just let us into the hot springs, I'll give you these gold coins that definitely aren't just chocolates.
Yo, but chocolate gold coins?
If you had this much gold, why didn't you say so? Come on in. I'll make sure the water temperature is perfect.
I couldn't even calculate that turnaround.
That's just business as usual for demons.
There you go. Nothing falters in the front of a bustling economic maneuver.
At last, a warm soak and a cool glass of fruit milk are within my reach.
Not so fast. It's been a while.
How dare you? I was ready to soak.
Victory Magistrate Ultimate Crimson Dark.
Alright, buddy, seriously, back off on the edgelording.
Your name's super long and impressive now.
It's like when you're working and the boss doesn't want to actually pay you more and they need to boost the quote-unquote new job employee numbers, and so they come to you and are just like, hey, so I understand you're just like the shit cleaner, but what if we made you the the executive shit cleaner. And then they come to you later on and are just like, so, we realize shit cleaner has some terminology problems, so we're gonna go with, executive excretion, I'm gonna go with cleaner again. I don't think of a better word here. My point is, it's just slapping on fun titles onto a meaningless, meaningless advancement. Fruit mix? Fruit milk? Well, I mean, arguably, you could just say, that's kind of what you get with strawberry milk, and who the fuck doesn't like strawberry milk?
Hear it and weep. My butthole has healed, and I've become even more powerful in my quest to get revenge against Higan.
I'm sorry. Rigid, we just had your comment come in. And then we're talking about a healed butthole. I'm just... No, you know what? Fuck it. It's gonna move past.
We're getting into the springs. This can wait, Helmet Crimson Dark.
It's ultimate. Get it right. I'm not named after an extremely vital piece of equipment that reduces crash fatalities by 80%.
I don't... Oh, they must mean for motorcycles. I was like, I'm thinking cars, and I'm like, who the hell wears a helmet? It totally skipped past me that he's talking motorcycles.
What a pain.
Yo, there you go. Healing power milk. Let's get on that.
Will you be okay on your own? It seems like Marionette Crimson Dark has gotten...
God, everyone fucking his name up. And damn well they should.
It's ultimate Crimson Dark. Well, you're not wrong. I am a puppet of the Shogunate. Is what you wish I'd say.
Your new strength isn't even worth my time. I am Higan Zeshosai. Only exceptional beings can hope to match me in combat. I'll squash you flat, just as you wish. Let's
Rigid,
go.
as I read your comment here again, and I've already read it once, but I made comment to it rather, but I'm just gonna say, that sounds like a porn book title. Like read it to yourself and tell me, how wrong am I? That sounds like a Japanese porn book title.
Ultimate Crimson Dark. At least get the Crimson Dark part right.
Fuji? Crimson seems totally different now than how he was during the tournament.
Yeah, this is the real Crimson. He put on an act for the tournament, but he is a better swordsman than I used to be.
He's a better swordsman than I used to be.
I know you're a fan
But
of
we're
great
not putting
works,
him on that level
but
now.
just aping the style isn't gonna cover your blunders.
Shut it. I'm not just here to be the butt of a joke.
No, you have already well cemented yourself in the idea of butt jokes.
There's no water in my hot spring!
Oh, it's Dum Dum Girl and her stupid face. Why are you here? You're in my dad's way, okay?
Ow. No.
You slammed down and splashed all the water out.
Did you not read the sign? It said no splashing.
What were you thinking?
Sorry, was Owl a bad girl? I know you care about this place, so I'll try real hard not to break anything else.
Even I just was ridiculing her about the non-existent no splash sign, and now I feel bad.
But anyway, there's something I really want to tell you. I heard about it while I was squelching the Shogunate jerks.
Well, you were what?
The Shogunate's gonna do something really bad in Udo. I bet that worries you, right, Dad?
I don't know if it would worry him, but I still feel like there's a part of him that's just gonna be like, yeah, but I do want to fuck with him.
Yudo's in trouble? What exactly is going to happen?
Al and Dad are talking. Don't interrupt. Otherwise, I'll have to smash you, too.
Ao is like some sort of like weird... She is like very well written in the idea of playing the portrayal of the tiny child you just want to protect, but also disturbingly nightmarish. It's actually ultimate ultra supreme crimson dark the bloody shadow blade edge magistrate number 5 with a side of eggnog.
Roger that.
Yo, we are getting into the eggnog season. I've never been one for the spiked eggnog, the alcoholic. But every year, and here's the thing, I know people who can drink eggnog nonstop. I can't do that. It's way too rich, it's way too thick, it's way too much rich, thick, creamy, saucy material. It's not something I can do a lot of. But every year I need to have, and I will buy a whole fucking carton of eggnog just to have that one perfect glass.
Dad, I know you're too nice to ignore what's going to happen to Udo.
It's also really good in coffee, but you can't put it in too hot.
Did Al do good? Huh? Huh?
I honestly, like, Fuji, where'd you go from here?
We were invited here to distract us from what's going on in Udo?
No, the magistrates wanted a fight. Of that much, I am certain. This wasn't just to buy them time.
They knew nothing. They were likely just being used as expendable pieces. How very shogunate-like.
Bro, speak up louder for, like, the politicians in general. Being used like expendable pieces. How very every political person ever like.
So,
blanket statement,
why'd
but,
go to all this
you
trouble
know,
to tell
for
us
the
this,
most
Al?
part.
What's your angle here?
I'm so happy you're thinking of me, Dad. Al wants what she's always wanted.
You
Al
can't
just
tell,
wants
but
her to
I'm
get to
so,
love him.
like, hard squinting
all.
right now.
See ya, Dad.
Like, there are some dark undertones here, and I'm not sure what they want me to feel.
Oh.
Well, right now, we need to get to Udo right away. We can talk after that.
Exactly, Rigid. I can down a whole carton of eggnog in less than a day. I love that stuff. Again, it's one of those things that, like, it fills a void in my soul that comes around every year. And like I said, I know people that can drink it like nonstop. It's a little bit much for me, but it's like getting that pumpkin spice latte, right? The season comes around, you need to set it up, you go out, you get your one latte, and it's like, I just needed this. This is the seasonal thing I kind of needed to help complete the package. That's me and eggnog. I need that one perfect glass. And I'm talking like, I'm sitting in the evening, I've got my dog, you know, resting her head on my lap. I'm sitting back, I just finished a movie or read a bit of a book, or I'm listening to some music. I've just showered, I'm in my poofy robe. I sit back, I put my feet up, I take my glass, and I sip. I need that. Every season it needs to be. Just to complete the holiday experience.
This netherworld's deserted. What do you think now that you've seen it?
Wait. Hold on. I gotta take... This is one of the few things that is a benefit to the setup I have where I'm using my phone for this. So, hold on. I am looking something up here. Something's not... Come on. Where is it? Where was it in the topics, the discussions? Alright, I think it was after this mission with the ping pong guy. We had conversations about the... Okay, that's not her. I was going to say the outline of the character that we saw the darkened, shadowy form of looked similar to what I expected here. However, that form had some form of demon horns, even though the hair kind of looked sort of familiar. Anyways, I had to look that up. I was like, yo, is that what they're going to get at? Because that seems really out of place.
And stop me, Pirilica.
Yeah, we've covered her before. We've seen her before. She has ties to Pirilica, but you know,
Everyone is flabbergasted.
could have been.
What happened in Udo? I can't stand the suspense.
I was wrong to think Udon noodles aren't fattening. They cause tremendous spikes in blood sugar levels. Don't eat too much.
Well, that's a hell of a pause screen. Anyways, Timmy Turner's dead. Be damned. Crazy that the entire Shogunate army is getting smashed by a little girl.
Who gives a crap?
Well, you know, after all those years of telling people to think about the children, those children decided to think for themselves.
Okay.
Fuji's reaction there.
Therefore, starting today, I shall primarily eat salba. I'm going for the Nyanko salba record.
What is going on in the background?
1001 bulls? 1002?
Did somebody say DeviantArt? What is this screen?
She's doing it! Way to Nyanko!
Oh, wait. What are you even trying to do?
I don't know, Fuji.
Salba battle, Pirilica faces the most fearsome salba warrior in the cosmos.
My all-time record is 530,000 bowls.
What art style is that? That is wildly unique. Like, it gives me JoJo vibes, but it's not the right facial feature to feel JoJo enough. But it's down that sharp, crisp line avenue, and it looks like it's trying to emulate something, but I'm not sure what it is. Alright, give it a save, and that is another chapter down. Let's see the lead-in scene here.
What's the meaning of this? I don't see any Udo residents around at all.
That's disturbing.
Even the pasta restaurant is empty. The streets used to be so bustling, but now it's like a dessert aisle.
You mean deserted island?
No, she means dessert aisle, but like at Walmart where you don't want to eat the desserts ever. Where everything is just crammed full of stuff that is absolutely atrocious for you.
Where did the Shogunate send them?
As a man who does a lot of baking, bring back in-home baking, people.
Back when you were one of the 13 magistrates?
Speaking of, moments before going live, I had literally just pulled a dozen cookies out of the oven.
I have no knowledge of this. But as Udo is the trade center for other netherworlds, I doubt they'd do anything too overboard.
In any case, let's look for the residents. My father always says Bushido is found in learning.
Reminds me of the video. I'm sorry, I paused to read that, Rigid, but I don't know what this is, and reading it is already poking holes in my brain. I'm gonna have to look for this video later. Like, what the hell is this? Reminds me of that video of the Joker prank calling a fat fetish artist. That sounds like some shit an AI system would come up with.
Yoo-hoo! Anyone around? It's me, your favorite Shogun! This place is really dead.
Yeah, I'm gonna want to check that out. If you would send it to me, Rigid, I'd be... Again, my brain is like, I can't even process what that statement reads as.
recognize that generic face of yours? Party Yasu, the subjugation magistrate. What do you want from me, you traitor?
He's got blonde hair. By the rules of anime, that means he's stronger.
Well, sorry I've got one of those faces. Come on, don't be so cold to your cuz. I've got good news for you, you know.
Unironically, like, other than the unnecessary arm plating, I'm kind of digging the yellow outfit, though.
Let me cut to the chase. I'll make you an offer, and if you follow my orders, then...
Ah! I hate how you always talk in circles! You just want to make a deal, don't ya?
Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah,
Batman! Oh no, I'm speaking as Batman, no. Batman, I caught a loopany! That could...
What?
Richard, I'm made even more uncomfortable by that inclusion.
Oh? Not even if it means freeing your precious little brother, Iki?
When did...
What's more important than family? Take some time to think about it. This could be your only chance.
When did
Ieyasu
Ieyasu...
lure them to the designated location in the slums away from town in 1 hour.
Ieyasu, where are you? It's almost time for the strategy meeting.
We've been interrupted. I don't think you really have a choice here, but think it over, all right?
Alright, well, as an older brother myself...
Right? Just do what your heart tells you.
Like, I don't even think I can fault Ieyasu if he caves into this, man.
I know you'll be an even greater shogun than Father was.
Yo, and the brother that believes in you. God damn it!
Episode 8. A Deserted Udo.
Well, they damn well know how to get me involved in the next story arc. Alright, with that said, I am going to wrap it up here. We got this to build into next time we come back to Disgaea 7, which is definitely going to be something I'm looking forward to, because like I said, they have pulled at a thread that kind of hits home. So I'm very curious to see where they're going to take this. Anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for stopping in, as usual. Let me get my keyboard set up. Another thing I don't have to keep reaching for after everything is moved over to the new setup, because it will be properly available consistently with everything laid out. Anyways, thank you so much, everyone. Hope to see you next time. Hope everything goes well for you, and hope to see you. Wow, I am tripping up hard. Clearly, it is getting late. Anyways, have a blessed one, everyone. See you next time. Bye-bye.